Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with Walt McLean behind the camera. And today is a review of the 2016 Infiniti Q50. I would call this the luxury sports sedan of Infiniti for a price, as this car sits right here in front of us, $40,705. So just a hair over $40,000. That's including destination and everything. Base price of this vehicle is about $37,750, and it's got about I think a $2,100 to $2,500 package, the Premium Plus package, which we'll get into here in just a second. But what's new for 2016? Some of you Infiniti fans out there will already know this, but for those of you that don't, here's what's new. 3 new available engine options. So they've gone away from the 3.7 liter naturally aspirated V6 and gone to a turbocharged 4-cylinder, which is what's in this vehicle right here, and 2 turbocharged V6. One creating right about 300 horsepower, and another one that's really good, that's creating near 400 horsepower. So we're not going to talk too much about those. This is going to be the review of the turbocharged 4-cylinder, which we'll talk about here in just a second. You've got revised steering and suspension and an improvement on Infiniti's direct adaptive steering system. For those of you that don't know what that is, basically when you're steering this car, you're not actually steering it with the steering wheel. It's actually not attached to the steering column. It's actually just attached to sensors, which Infiniti has had some problems in the past. Now they've got that corrected. It's a lot more fluid driving experience. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. We're going to give you a walk around on the vehicle. Apologize for the mess that is here. It's been a little bit rainy this morning here on an early October day in Colorado. Really like the styling. Really nice aggressive look to the car. All of this is lit up. The LEDs look really beautiful, really fantastic. The ground effects on this vehicle look magnificent. This is a nice little, I would say, kind of a pearly blue color to it. Looks really good in my opinion. As we come along the sides, what's on the 2.0T Premium, which is what this vehicle is. So there's 6 trim levels. This is kind of the second highest trim level, you could say. There's a few more higher tiers, but we're going to discuss this one. What comes on it? You get some nice 17-inch alloy wheels. You get a sunroof, auto-dimming rear view mirror, a 14-speaker Bose sound system, and a lot of other standard features. I encourage you to check that out on Infiniti's website. Honestly, there was just too many to point out, in my opinion. Well, I mentioned at the start of it, the Premium Plus package. What does that give you? Well, some notable features: heated front seat, heated steering wheel, and a power steering wheel. It also gives you some different lumbar support for the driver and passenger seats, that sort of thing, or power driver and passenger seats, and you also get lumbar support on the driver's seat. As you can see along the back here, this is the first Q50 we've had in a good bit, but I really do like the styling that they've done with the taillights. They've wrapped them into the body. They've really given it a nice look. When these are illuminated, it really looks sleek, and it gives this car a very different view going down the road, which actually is a good thing when you consider you want your car to stand out just a little bit, which is a nice plus in our opinion. We're just going to jump right into the trunk. You do get, and I want to make sure that I get my figures on this right so everyone doesn't get upset, 13.5 cubic feet of trunk room with this. They do make a hybrid model, but I'm not going to get into that here. So you hold the trunk down, it's going to pop it, again, just enough for you to open it, so not an automatic trunk. Again, $40,000 on this vehicle. So you open it and it pops up. Again, a really nice sized trunk again. And for this class, you do have a pass-through that right there in the middle, which makes it, if you wanted to still put 4 passengers, 2 in the back seat, you could do that. Put some skis, a snowboard in there. These right here will allow you to fold the seats down, the second row seating down. It is a 60-40 split, so if you only had 3 passengers, you could fold down one side of that, or even put kind of a child here in the middle seat. You've got a cargo mat right here. Not a whole lot of bells and whistles. Again, it's just a typical sedan kind of, again, but that's got that luxury feel to it, and we'll mention why when we get into the interior. You do have a handle right here that you pull down, and the vehicle closes right very nicely. Not much else to say about that. As we get to the back seat here, and I'll kind of show this as Walt kind of brings the camera around. Gonna climb in. Gonna note something really quick. This seat is in exit mode. We do have that feature turned on. So with this seat in exit mode, you'll see there are some indentations right here that allow my knees to fit a little bit tighter within the seat. But just in general, I'm sitting back again, 5'9", 5'10". My wife would say 5'9". I'm going to say 5'10" for the sake of the review. I still got a solid, I don't know, 3-4 fingers that I can fit right in here. Again, and this is an exit mode, so the seat will go quite a bit farther forward if needed. Really nice. I really do like that. Some nice soft touch materials that Infiniti has done along here, Walt, if you can kind of show them that. I really like this inlays that they've done here. Just, again, some nice soft touch material, which is, again, part of what this sets it apart from other vehicles that aren't considered luxury, is these nice soft touch materials that you don't generally find. With the sunroof, you do have a little bit lower of a ceiling, and Walt, I'm not sure if people are able to see that or not. I'll be honest, if this was Walt in the back seat at 6'3", 6'4", he's going to have a hard time sitting back here, and these seats are a little bit elevated. Just something to note. You do have 2 vents back here, as well as a kind of ashtray right there in storage, right in the bottom part here. Something to note, nothing major of that. There are no power ports or anything back here. Just want to point that out. So as you slide out, very easy to do. You don't have too bad of a sweeping angle. You can slide in there very easily. Not too big of a deal. So with that being said, as you get the rest of the view of the interior of the vehicle and the roof line, we will actually hop in the front seat, show you the interior, then we'll take a drive in the 2016 Infiniti Q50. All right, fans, front seat portion in 2016 Infiniti Q50. Before we get too far, I want to show you the door panel. One thing I do want to note, you'll notice that it is the black soft touch material right there, the nice leatherette material along the side of the door, versus the back seat was a white material. So something to note, just some nice contrasting that they've given you. You do have storage in the door pocket right there, automatic windows all the way around. As you come in here, Infiniti's kind of giving you this nice swooping design right here to give you a little bit more feel or roomy, I guess, in terms of the cabin up there. Again, powered passenger seat, we did mention. Fairly comfortable seats. I can't complain about them. They feel nice in terms of driving around town. Very easy to sit in and could do so for a long drive. Cup holders do fit nice. You do have the center console right here. Not a whole lot of storage, but you do have 2 USB ports along with an auxiliary port right there and a power port right there. And you always have also have a power port up here with your kind of your cigarette lighter, or what it used to be the cigarette lighter, I should say, 12 volt, 120. Right there that can pop up very easily. Your drive mode selector, your Infiniti system. One thing I will know, and I will be honest, I'm not sure if this is all new for 2016 or not. I just know that the dual displays that Infiniti has included is different from anything that we have driven in from Infiniti in the past. If this is going to continue, I would say yes, Infiniti, 2 thumbs up from us. Now, some people are going to say, this is a very crazy system to use and operate, and we'll show you when we get in the back seat. I would say this is way better than what Infiniti has had before. And so if they're going to do it in just Infinitis, or if Infiniti and Nissan are going to combine them and Nissan's going to take this, highly encourage them to do this. This is much easier to operate and is much more present day than their old system. The rest of the controls, again, very simple to use. You don't have any automatic cruise control. You don't have any lane departure, although that is available. You do have start and stop functionality on this vehicle. Heated seats, as I mentioned before. The heated steering wheel, which can access from here, and we'll show you that. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory, and I don't want to show you too much else. It's a lot easier to do this on the back seat. So with that being said, we'll have Walt hop in the back, and we'll get ready to take a quick drive. 2016 Infiniti Q50. All right, fans, here we are for the driving portion, 2016 Infiniti Q50. Real quick, do want to show you, however, the interior, more importantly, this newer, or like I said before, I'm not sure if this is brand new, but the different infotainment system that is now on here. And I can actually, you know what, let me get out I'm going to get this out, the window sticker, and I'm going to actually see what they actually call this. The Infiniti InTouch dual display system with Infiniti controller. Okay, so this is the Infiniti dual touch system. This reminds me, and I'm not sure if Infiniti wants me to say this, but I'll just say it reminds me a lot of the Honda system, Honda and Acura, how they've done the 2 displays. But real quick, I'm going to show you how it works. We kind of showed you an overview of the interior just a second ago. This is what I would say is your interior, or this is your control center right here. So you can go to phone information, different settings. You can just swipe if you want to. You can go to your drive mode selector, depending on what mode you're in. It'll kind of tell you all of that. You can just go to the clock. So this is kind of your information display with how you want this to show everything. So I go back, I actually can just hit this menu button right here. I can go to audio, which will take me to the audio screen, will display what's on the audio. I can go to climate, so I can change my climate control, which I can do for along the side right here. And again, this is dual climate, so I can change that over here. The heated steering wheel, I can put into dual mode. I can turn the seats can either be auto, high, mid, low, or of course off. But the auto will adjust depending on the climate and how you have it set, especially for your side. The radio down here, disc and auxiliary, the tune functions right here. Doesn't have a tune knob, but does have a tune button right here. All up here is traffic, okay? So you can select everything from the control knob right here. You can zoom out. This is also a touch screen. So if I do go up here and I hit the touch screen, it's still a touch screen system, okay? You can zoom in, zoom out, whatever you want to do. Go to the menu, navigate there. You can also do that with your steering wheel controls. But if you want to play more with this system, head to Infiniti, try it out there. I can just tell you, and some people aren't huge fans of this, what I can tell you from our experience, this is a lot better of a system than what was before. So Infiniti, 2 thumbs up from us there. We're going to put this into reverse right now. You'll notice this still remains the same, but your navigation display turns into your rear view camera. You do have those dynamic grid lines. We can get really close to the curb over here as necessary if we wanted to park. So very easy to use, very easy and simple to operate. Again, a nice feature that's going to become standard here shortly. You do have a few different modes. Real quick, I'm going to show you those. You've got snow, standard, sport, or personal, depending on however you wanted to operate the car, how you wanted the steering to be, the handling, all that good stuff. As I mentioned before, this has the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in here, rated for 23 and 31 in terms of fuel economy. We've been able to average, just because I put the foot on the pedal, 29.4. We've been right at 30 miles per gallon this entire time, and I feel very confident you could be right at 30, 31, even in the city. In terms of quietness, it's not the quietest Infiniti out there. However, it is going to be quieter than some, I don't want to say lesser cars, that's not the right word. Some of the different competition at a different price point. So at that $40,000 price point, you are going to get a little bit quieter of a vehicle. You can just tell that but when you do get up on the highway, you are going to hear a little bit of a road noise. You're sitting lower to the ground. Something to note. You'll kind of notice there in terms of comfort. No, it's not a $120,000 car made by some competitors, or even a higher grade Infiniti. No, but it's not meant to be. It's a sport luxury sedan. That's what I'm calling it. Infiniti, if it's not what you call it, then I apologize. We can certainly correct ourselves, but that's what I am calling it. In terms of the oomph, definitely gets up and oomph. I think I just put Walt back a little bit because he wasn't expecting that. Definitely has enough power if you need to. The 4-cylinder engine works its magic, and I've heard the 2 turbocharged V6s work work as well, if not better, depending on what you're looking for. Again, for fuel economy purposes, a lot of manufacturers, Infiniti included, are going to start going to the turbocharged engines much more so than they are the naturally aspirated bigger engines, bigger displacement. So with all that being said, what is our opinion of it as we kind of close out this review? For the money, you're getting an Infiniti car, which means this car is going to go a long, long time. My father-in-law actually has an Infiniti. I'm not sure the exact model, but it's on its 350,000th mile. So it's been going for an awful long time. What else about this vehicle? Like I mentioned, I love the price point for that entry-level luxury. This is definitely a car to consider. For that sporty sedan, if you wanted an even sportier feel, getting those different, or those bigger engines, I should say, would be a huge plus, in my opinion, would be something I would strongly consider. However, if you're just tooling around town, you want that better fuel economy, this is going to be the vehicle for you for right at that $50,000 price point, pretty much everything you can get. One thing I didn't mention, I want to make sure that I do mention here to start out, and I'll kind of slow down. This vehicle is standard rear-wheel drive. However, every single trim level is available in an optional all-wheel drive. Something to note, wanted to point that out there. So if you're interested in this vehicle, check it out at your local Infiniti dealer. Get in it, drive it, put your family in it, really experience this car and everything that it has to offer. And if you do that, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.